everybody. My name is Isaiah.
Hi, and I'm Ashley.
We are here today to talk about us and introduce ourselves and go over our past, present, and future for our relationship and our current goals, our future goals, just kind of how we manage things from day to day. So we're going to start off today by telling you a little bit about ourselves and kind of telling about our past.
So originally, I am from Oakland, East Bay area,
And I'm from the Oregon coast, in between Eugene and Florence.
and we met at University of Oregon. I was a freshman,
And I was a sophomore. We went to a off-campus party together.
the Black Party.
Yeah, I saw her and she wasn't dancing, so I went and asked her to dance. She
Yeah.
said yes.
And we danced all night, and then
Yeah, we had a great time.
we exchanged numbers. We dated for a few months.
At that point, though, I ended up getting sick, and Ashley was there, and she took care of me and helped
Oh, that's
me,
sweet.
and that was part. I know that was part of how she has a special place in my heart, is because she took care of me at that time.
Yeah, he got super duper sick. Eventually, he decided he was going to move to California.
I was on to the next phase of my life. My mom's side lives in Northeast California, which it was probably 2 to 3 hours from the Bay Area, which is where Ashley's family lives.
Yeah, and I was like so heartbroken, just crying all the time, trying to figure out what I was gonna do and how I was gonna spend my time. And
Started spending time with another boy.
no, and then we decided. So from the beginning, when we were first dating, we weren't exclusive, so we were just seeing what else was out there. So it was chill, I guess. But he didn't want a serious relationship because he just got out of a relationship, and I was just young freshman, so I didn't really care. Even though he thought that I wanted to be with him, but whatever. So we decided we were just going to keep things open and free, but of course, like, you can't just not catch feelings. So I caught feelings probably first.
It was probably mutual. And
But
I ended up moving, and the whole time I was like, oh, that was part of the reason why I was doing that, was because I knew I was going to be moving eventually, and that we were, probably going to live together or move together, and we were going to end up parting ways. So I didn't want it to get too serious if I was just going to leave.
yeah, so it was cool. We I don't know, it was sad though. We still kept in touch though. We talked every day and all that. And when he would come back to Oregon, he would see me and stay with me and visit with me.
Her,
Yeah, so it was.
up.
Yeah, okay, whatever. So, yeah, and then eventually we did see other people, whatever. But that's one of the reasons we probably got together, is because Isaiah wasn't feeling me being with other people. So,
Yeah. So I was like, you know what? No, I need to just lock this down. So I got a puppy and a Kindle and a vacuum and packed up all of her stuff.
He
and
showered me with a bunch of gifts to try to win me over, and I can't keep a big old load. Speak of the
and this
devil,
bubba right
this
here.
little girl, that's who we went and got in Oregon.
Yeah.
So I couldn't keep a dog, of course, in my apartment in Eugene. So
Nope.
I had to move
And I had
to
a little spot
California.
that we rented. So Ashley came with G, and then we ended up getting Cokie Babe.
Oh yeah, so I have a dog from when I was like 13. She's in my dog, so 13
And
years.
I took her in.
Yeah, and she was supposed to stay with us for like a little bit, and of course she ended up becoming a permanent part of our household. And then we added a cat. I don't know where he is, but
That's
we
a little
added a
further
cat.
down the road, though.
Yeah.
In the meantime, we lived in Northeast California. We went to school there, went to community college there.
Got some degrees.
Yeah, moved forward with our education and moved to a few different areas, and eventually.
Yeah, so we were in California. We moved to a few different spots in upper northern California. And then, when was that?
A couple years ago.
2018. Then
2 years ago.
2018, I decided I wanted to go to Washington State up here in Tri-Cities. And we kind of went through like the second hardest part. So it was hard when we were first getting together and like deciding we wanted to be together, and then transitioning to living together. But this was a hard point because we didn't really know what we were gonna do, and I thought we were gonna part ways, and I was just gonna move to Washington, and he was gonna stay in California. That's what I was thinking, but
That's what she was thinking, but
but yeah, it was definitely a hard time. And
yeah, we went through some downs and some ups and downs, and we had another opportunity at Crossroads where we are going to move. Something's going to change, and it's our choice of which way we want to go. And we decided that we wanted to stay together.
Yeah.
So we moved here to Southeast Washington, and I had a job lined up with a friend of mine doing an excavation company.
But I knew he didn't really want to do physical labor and all that work again, because that's what he was already doing in California, and it wasn't making him too happy. And we were working with his family in California.
I would have been willing to do it, but it wouldn't have been the number one ideal. It would have just been kind of a stepping stone.
Yeah,
But
I
based
knew
on
it
where
wouldn't
the
have made you
job was
happy.
and where her school was, the commute, it didn't really make sense.
Yeah,
So I had to find something closer to home.
exactly. So before we had moved to Washington, we didn't have anything lined up. Like, we kind of had his job lined up, like he said, but I went online and
Did some
what were you doing? He
applications.
was playing video games, and I just did a whole bunch of random like job applications for him, and just and then we ended up coming up here. So we packed up all of our stuff in California and packed up the dogs. We dropped off the dogs in Oregon. Then what did we do?
We brought like a load to a storage unit or whatever, and then we went and started just house shopping.
Yeah, so
looking
we
for
put
a house
all
to
of-
rent.
Yeah, we put all of our stuff in storage, and then we had, I think it was before we came out here. Yeah, we had contacted our landlord on Craigslist.
A bunch of them.
Yeah, a bunch of different ones. But this guy, he said, "Oh yeah, you can come like on the day that we happened to be visiting." And literally, we had just gotten into town, and we went and met with him,
Yep.
and he told us someone else was looking at our house,
Which
and
was like a family friend of his.
yeah, so he had to let them have like priority,
Mhm.
and then he called us. When was it? The next day?
Yeah.
Yeah, he called us the next day and said we can have it.
Yep. So we locked down a rental. Almost the first. Was it the first one we looked at?
Yeah.
It was
That was the only one we
first
looked
and
at.
only one we looked at. We just lay down.
Yeah, and people were like saying we were crazy for just packing up our stuff and
Yeah.
moving here with no
Moved it
job,
all
no
here.
house, just nothing.
With nothing.
And we had like already like completely cut ties with our previous landlord. We told him we were moving out, gave him the
Yeah.
30-day notice, everything, without having anything lined up here. So we got really lucky that it worked out. And
Yeah.
then
We had
when did your
a certain
job
amount
call
of money
you?
that we set aside that we knew would be
Yeah.
able to cover the moving expenses and the storage unit and
And the rent, first and
the rent
last.
and the deposit. So
Yeah.
we'll get a little more into that down the road.
But tell them about your job.
So when we were visiting here to find our home and our jobs, I received an email from my sales manager, my new sales manager, and he told me that the phone number that I had put on the application wasn't going through,
My
and to
doing.
reach out to him as soon as I could. So I gave him a call, and I found out that the numbers were transposed or
Mhm.
transfixed, whatever you say it. And they said they wanted to have an interview with me. I did an interview. Everything went really well.
Aced it.
Yep, got the job. It's been a really good job for me. I'm really happy I did it.
Yeah.
We'll get more into that in the future as well.
Okay. So right now what we're doing is he's still working in sales.
Yep.
I worked at Amazon for a little bit, and then I quit my job because it was a little stressful. So now I'm just staying home with my babies and all the plants, as you can see.
Doing school.
Oh, and school.
Doing school.
Just school's last.
Some online schools, some at the Washington
Well,
State
now it's
University,
going to be
some at the community
all
college.
online with
Yeah.
this
Yeah, we're on lockdown. We've been on
COVID.
lockdown for these last weeks. Over a month.
months.
Over a month now.
Almost
I've been at
2
home
months.
since they shut down for the COVID-19, and we'll talk a little more about that as well down the road. But we're getting through it. I hope you guys are as well. Just staying safe, taking care of the house.
We have been doing these fun cards. It's called Couple Connect, Talk to Connect and Experiment by Life Sutra. These deck of cards are
Let
amazing.
me see. Interesting. This is an interesting one. Ooh.
Oh, we can't really do that one on camera.
Write a card to each other about what life would mean without each other.
Oh, well, we can just answer it.
Okay, we can answer it, but we'll.
Actually,
Or
let's
as
do
a card
something a
later.
little different. So I'm going to go in the room, and you can say what life would mean without the other.
Okay.
You like that idea?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Have fun.
Okay, got the chair to myself. See how that feels. Life would be me on the chair by myself. What would life mean without each other? Without you I would have no one to set my goals with. I would have no one to lean on and no one to encourage me. I would have no one to start my family with and no one to take care of my current family with. I would have a empty hole where my love, my beautiful wife, Ashley Berry, was. And I don't know, thinking back to not having you, I felt like I was just kind of in just a little popcorn popping in the pop machine. I was just kind of in a haze, just anywhere here, anywhere there. I didn't have a lot of direction. I wasn't really on any specific track. I was just kind of floating through life. And ever since I met you, things have just been, it's like a lot more clear. Like I put on glasses, like my vision is here now, and it's very clear. My future and my present, everything is right in line. Our goals are set. We're achieving them all. We're on the same page. Being there for each other. So that would be what it would be without you. So I wouldn't have you there for me and there for us. Because what I've become now is us. So without you, it wouldn't be us. I wouldn't be myself. I would be lost. Olivia. All right, your turn.
Okay, so Isaiah went outside, so he couldn't hear my answers. Hopefully he said some nice, sweet stuff about me. I couldn't hear because I was in the room on my phone. Okay, so what life would mean without each other. Aw. Ooh, this is a hard one. So, without Isaiah, I wouldn't even want to imagine that. Isaiah is just my best friend. Without Isaiah, I don't know where I would even be right now. We've been together so many years. I was 18 when I met him, so my whole life would have been different. I never would have had my little German Shepherd, and I'm actually gonna cry even thinking about being without Isaiah. I'm gonna edit that out. But, oof. Yeah, I wouldn't be where I'm at right now. We wouldn't have bought our house. Like I said, we wouldn't have had our sweet puppies with us and our sweet kitty. Yeah, I definitely wouldn't be as happy in life without Isaiah. We just work together so well, and we just make decisions so well together, and we decide to take major steps together. I definitely wouldn't be able to have done that with anyone else. Like, if I went any of the other paths with any of the guys that I talked to before, like, our lives would not be how it is today. We wouldn't have went on all these different trips. None of that. Like, he always says that I'm the one who plans all this stuff, but I definitely wouldn't have been able to do any of that without him. And I don't know. Like I said, Isaiah's just my best friend. Mine probably isn't as sweet as his because I've been drinking more, so I'm just drunk. It just makes me want to cry. So, yeah, Isaiah's just my best friend, and he just, I don't know, I feel like he gives me all the credit for everything, but he's literally the reason that I want to do these things and be better, because I know that we can continuously grow and just accomplish so much together. Like, if I was with someone else, like, I wouldn't trust them enough to, it's more than just trust. It's, I don't know, we wouldn't have that foundation that Isaiah and I have set to where I would want to do these things and be able to do them. I wouldn't have, thought, okay, let's buy a house. If it was any other dude, I'd want to, I don't know, I would do more to keep things more separate. So, I don't know. We're just so in sync and just perfect. Life wouldn't be the same without Isaiah. He's my rock and my love, my heart, my whole everything. So, yeah, let me stop for a cry, my drunk ass. Let me go get Isaiah. Oh, we did that one already.
I'm going to just read this one then.
Okay.
Make a list of 3 positive things that you can speak about each other in front of others.
I want to
This
say
is
mine.
what Ashley wrote.
Okay, I wrote, Isaiah is a great provider. He works so hard at everything. He does sweet things, and he's my soulmate. So I cheated. I did 4.
Yeah.
Oh, he did too.
I did at least
no.
4. Oh, God. That's embarrassing.
Do it. That's because you can speak up in front of others. So tell them what you wrote about your wife. Well, that's something we didn't mention. We've been married for 4 months, so.
Yeah, we'll talk more about that later. Selfless. Great mom / auntie.
Say it.
Ambitious.
Say it. Don't try to cheat. Read them what
I
you
don't want to
said.
say it. I don't just put it out.
Just no, just do it. We're too far away. Say it. It has to be things that you would speak up in front of other people, and you wrote it. So
I don't know who wrote this. It doesn't look like my handwriting, but it says neck. I don't know if that's short for something or if that's a typo.
You're so gross. See?
Ooh.
You thought no one would see that one.
What was your first impression of each other on your first date?
What would be considered? I just got plant stuff on me. What would be considered our first date? Would it be when we first danced? We could do both.
Yeah.
Okay, my first impression of you when we first danced, I was just like, oh, this guy's a good dancer.
Yeah.
But I wasn't trying to be too serious, so that's kind of all it went. So yeah, he's a good dancer.
But then when she saw that FB,
No, this is the first one. I
When
can't
she
say
saw
that.
that
That was my
FB,
first impression of you.
your first
He's a good
impression was when you
dancer.
saw it on Facebook. She said, "Oh, do you
No.
have a kid? Are you a daddy?"
I did not say all that.
Yeah,
I just
can
asked,
be.
like,
Can be.
no, I don't even think I asked you, like, maybe I did. Because he had a bunch of pictures of his little sister on his Facebook, and I'm just like, that's kind of scary to me, but also at the same time, it's just like, well, if he's a good dad, he looks like it, so, meh. So, what was your first impression when we first danced?
Well, when we first danced, yeah, same thing. I thought you were a good dancer. I thought you were kind of quiet and kind of shy.
That's not what you thought, because from what I was doing, you did not think that at all.
Well, no, not like a lady on the street, but a freak in the street.
Yeah, whatever.
That's what I
No.
thought.
His like pickup line was just like, oh, she's cute, but can she dance too? And just cheesy pickup line. And then we were dancing. You did not think I was shy from dancing.
No,
That's why I
that's what I'm
know.
saying.
He definitely didn't think I was shy because he tried to get me to go home with him after we
Exactly.
danced. So
That tells you a lot about the dance moves.
yeah, so he was trying to get me to go home with him, trying to say there was like an after party at his house. And then I'm just like, and then Chen, my friend who was with me, he was just like, no, that's not happening. You're not going home with him. So you did not think I was shy.
I like
the first
that.
time you
That
met.
you had some friends with you that had your back, and it was like you were wild, but you were in control. And at the same time, well, like I said, when I met you, you were kind of by yourself, and no, you weren't dancing. So I kind of thought, okay, so she was just chilling. She wasn't too wild, but she's ready.
Ready? What? Whatever. So then, my first mention of like our actual first date was watching Joyride at his house. And I thought he was a little pushy, but it was okay. But then I thought he was really cute because I had seen his Facebook. So, what was your impression?
You thought I was pushing?
Yeah. During Joyride, the movie. Yeah, I thought you were pushy.
I didn't think that. I thought I was just.
I was trying to watch the movie. Yeah.
Well, you didn't
He was pushy.
tell me or do anything that would alert me that you weren't trying to
Whatever.
do any of that
He's
stuff.
so dirty.
Be honest, that's on you.
No, I was about it. I'm not saying I wasn't about it. I'm just saying you were like ready. I was trying to watch some movie first, at least.
Oh, we did watch some. There was.
We've never.
They were in a car.
We've never finished. We should watch Joyride tonight.
Mm.
We're gonna watch Joyride tonight. We've never gone through that movie since then. So,
Yeah.
what was your first impression?
I
He was
told
just
you.
DTF.
We were just having fun. Like I had my friends there. I think remember when we went to the 7-Eleven and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We had a good.
That
time.
was not that night. That was a different night.
Okay. Well, I just thought we had fun together. Like every time we would hang out, we'd have fun, and it was chill, and everything was just kind of easy going.
Yeah. Good times. Very good times. Should we do another?
Let's do just one or two more.
Okay.
bring to mind a recent romantic moment.
Pause. Let's bring to mind a recent romantic moment. What was a recent romantic?
When we were out on the yard on the bench, the sitting area.
Yeah.
Where Koki came up eventually.
That part wasn't sweet though.
We sat down on the bench and we looked out.
But that was a sweet
and
one.
The water was going.
Okay, and I was different because I felt at peace, and I usually don't feel at peace.
Yeah, you have a little
How
anxiety.
are you? No, it's more than anxiety and just stress and just stuff.
I was different because I felt like so accomplished. It was like an overwhelming feeling of accomplishment and happiness and pride because we had rented this house and then bought this house and then brought it up to the point where we're customizing and making things our own, and we got the yard looking how we want it to look, and it took a lot of work to get it to where we wanted it, and we have a lot more work to go, but I feel like I just had that overwhelming feeling of pride and confidence.
Okay. It says, how was your partner different? I felt like Isaiah was just more connected with me and just, I don't know, we were just really in tune, which isn't really too different, but it was nice in that moment.
Oh, I feel like Asher was different because
As I pay attention, you can't just
she
pet the boy.
Just seemed like very happy.
Oh, you're saying I don't seem happy all the time.
Just very like tranquil.
Thanks.
And like no worries in the world.
Because I'm always worried. Look at this cat. It's too much. Yeah. Okay.
Take a moment to stay with that feeling. It's a perfect moment to have Jedzia.
Yeah. Discuss your experience. We did.
We talked about it.
It was a nice experience. We need more experiences like that where we can just both just be at peace and let our guard down and just be sweet to each other.
Yeah. Hey guys, thanks for watching a relationship exercise. I'm going to let you know a couple of things we're going to be talking about in the future. We're going to go over our financial past, how we were able to get to where we're at today. We're going to talk about goals, how to set goals, how we set goals, which goals we set. We're going to talk about issues that we've come across in our relationship.
How we've overcome them.
Yeah, whether that would be, racial issues or our friends or our family members or just challenges that every relationship faces and the ways that we've been able to overcome them. We're going to talk about our pets and
hobbies.
Our hobbies and video games.
Not that.
And houseplants.
Work and love. Yeah. Thank you so much for watching, and we look forward to hearing from you and your experiences as well.